morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on our first ever live open house. This is the Montessori School of San Antonio, and we are happy to have you join us. We're going to give you a tour for you. We're going to start with our main entrance for our main building. Please come on in. We're going to meet Dr. Dan Ahlstrom. Throughout the tour, I am going to remove my mask in some places and put it back on. We're outside now, so I will put it back on to come in the building. Thank you. Come on in. This is our main lobby. Everybody comes through here. We'll be walking towards our hallway, where you will see some art displayed from all levels in our school. This is where we showcase a lot of our work. And we're going to make our way to our library, which is the center of our main building, to meet our head of school, Dr. Dan Ahlstrom. Good morning, Dr. Dan.
Good morning, Maru. Hello, my name is Dan Ahlstrom, and I'm the head of school at the Montessori School of San Antonio. And I want to welcome you to our first ever virtual open house. Today, we're going to be able to take a look at our facilities, which are really outstanding and beautiful. But more than that, you're going to meet some of the finest educators in San Antonio who are going to talk to you about what they are most passionate about, which is educating children and the Montessori method. So take a look, look around, think about your questions. Later on, we will have a chance to visit, and I'll be able to answer those questions for you. And with that, I want to turn the time back over to Ms. Maru and wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. Okay, so we're going to start with our first level of education, children 3 to 6 years old. We're going to start with Ms. Janet, one of our 5 primary teachers. We have 5 primary classrooms that are composed of 24 students and 2 teachers, 1 lead teacher and 1 assistant. We're going to head over to Ms. Janet's room. Going to give us a brief overview of the Montessori method in primary. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Janet.
Good morning. Welcome. As Maru mentioned, this is one of 5 primary classrooms. The classroom is comprised of 24 students who range in age from 3 to 6 years old. And so you will see a lot of developmental progression within the classroom and within the materials. The age range is important to the Montessori method. It is designed to benefit both the younger students and the older ones. The younger students will benefit from the more elevated vocabulary and skill level and interest level of the older students, and the older students can reinforce their skills by helping younger students. This is, we call it a prepared environment. In the design of the primary level classrooms, it was important to have an outdoor extension. Half of their outside activities include sand, water, washing clothes, drying clothes, they garden, they water the plants. The other entrance is that of the library, and each of the 5 classrooms has both an outdoor extension and access to the library. The classroom is divided into certain areas, very distinct, but children are allowed to move between the areas at will. The system is based on free choice. The lessons are given one-on-one according to individual interest and developmental needs. So there is this area of the classroom we call practical life. It tends to, in Montessori, help the students, what she called, adapt to their culture. Within this primary environment, the students will polish shoes, polish silver, wash the tables, they wash windows, they wash dishes. Each of the exercises is self-contained, so the student, which means the student comes and chooses the exercise and takes it to his or her table. Much of the practical life exercises, many of them help to develop both fine motor and gross motor precision. You will see examples of lots of transfer exercises, tweezing, spooning, pin punching, anything that helps to develop fine motor precision and concentration. The exercises are designed to encourage fine motor and precision. Within each area, there's also a progression of the exercises. You will see, for example, stringing beads for a very young child, and for the older students, that sort of takes the form of sewing. They use real needles, they use real scissors, we use glass dishes, glass plates. Again, that was important to Montessori in terms of controlled error. If a glass drops and it breaks, the lesson learned. So there's many activities in the practical life and sensorial areas. In sensorial, the students are encouraged to, or led to, begin discrimination and gradation of size and volume, cubes, spheres, geometric terms, and solids. We also, there's also a cultural area, which includes geography puzzle maps for younger students, and for older students, there is research, map making. I'm not sure if you can see the number of maps on the walls. This is a typical activity for the students, and so you will always see geography in action. Language is another one. There's a progression from phonetic words to phonograms. The students learn movable alphabet, they learn the letters. It's sandpaper for the younger students. The older ones obviously are going to be reading and writing. Also, math is a huge component. May I move here? And it goes from concrete to abstract. And so initially they are learning sequencing from 1 to 10, then there are teens, hundreds. And again, within any level, you're going to see a progression of skills. These students are 3 years apart and probably 5 different skill levels. In language, they go from phonetic words to what we call phonograms to story writing. And in math, from sequencing, this child, for example, is skip counting by 5s from 5 to 125 in preparation for multiplication. And there is place value work. Again, the movement is from very concrete to more abstract. This is clearly a presentation or representation of 1,344 plus 2,423. And then further material becomes more and more abstract. This is a stamp game. There's a lot of work in the terms. Addition becomes a matter of putting two quantities together. And they learn also to exchange 10 units for a 10, 10 tens for 100, and 10 hundreds for 1,000. There's a lot of overlap between the higher primary materials and the next level you will see, which is Miss Maria. Some of the materials are the same, and that enables the child to have, both a challenge and some security before moving to the next level.
Thank you. All right, we're going to head over to our lower elementary classroom. which are upstairs. The materials you just saw, based on the observations of Dr. Maria Montessori, she observed children, how they worked, how they manipulated materials to learn on their own. They have self-correction. All the materials are very colorful and color-coded. They go all the way up through 6th grade, and the students use them, starting with the concrete concept and moving on to abstract. As we head upstairs, we will find our lower elementary and our upper elementary classrooms. As you can see, the library is the center of our main building. As we walk through the hallways upstairs, we can see work display for upper elementary students, some work display for lower elementary students, and we have some images for you to see the children in action. We have all the 3 levels, lower, upper, and middle school, and primary as well. So we're heading over to Miss Maria's room. Lower elementary is composed of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, ages 6 through 9. In lower elementary, we add, in primary, we focus on self-care, becoming independent. We focus on the whole child, self-care and care for the environment, as you saw with gardening and other activities. In lower elementary, we introduce technology with the use of Chromebooks, and also we have pet care. So self-care, care for the environment, and pet care. So let's come and join Miss Maria this way. Good morning, Miss Maria.
Good morning, Ms. Maru.
We are here to learn a little bit about our lower elementary level.
Fantastic. Welcome to Lower Elementary. This is a home of our 1st to 3rd graders. We also, so welcome. We have here is the beginning of the 2nd plane of development. We have students ages 6 to 9, grades 1st through 3rd. In our classroom here, with this development, 2nd plane of development, let's really look at the characteristics of the child. At this age, we're looking at their social, emotional, physical, and academic skills. At this point, the characteristics we're seeing is that they're reasoning with a lot of logic and mixed with a lot of imagination. There's this intense desire to learn about the universe and their place within the universe. What we're looking to bridge from that concrete to that abstract. This intellectual independence, now we're saying, I can think for myself. In our classroom, we have about 20, we keep our ratio at a 24:2 ratio. We have that mixed age group in here. Some of our primary materials are still available, and now we're taking those from concrete towards the abstract. We're working on time management skills, project management skills. We're responsible for our learning, but we're motivated by the other people in our classroom. We're honing in on those social skills to be more effective and build that sense of community. But we're working on our daily practice. So we have those basic skills we're learning: reading, writing, arithmetic, problem solving. So we're practicing those daily and then taking those skills and expanding them into studies for our cultural areas: science, art, technology, library skills. All of those, we're trying to put those together for the student. And one aspect of our program that we're very proud of is our uninterrupted work.
And
They
build
have
that sense of
plenty
community.
of time
We're
for
working
them
on our
to
daily
go
practice.
ahead and work, to just have that opportunity to sit and work. So we also are helping those with those skills, those time management skills, through offering a daily planner. We're also giving them project management guides. They're working independently, but also have an opportunity to work in small groups or whole communities as well. We're working on transitioning, so they still have that opportunity to go to specialists. We're doing music and art, PE, and library skills, Spanish, all of these classroom skills. We also have the sense of community. This is a very active community in here. We're building social skills. It's a chance for them to learn from others, but also to lead others as well, and watching those skills develop. Consequently, we have some opportunities for them within the classroom to care not just for themselves and the others, but we're also we introduce the care of pets as well. So each of our lower elementary classrooms have a variety of pets, reptiles, fish. We even have our favorite invertebrate, our tarantula, that the kids have a chance to go ahead and take care of as well. So we're looking at all different types of work. They're still touching things so they can develop, again, from that concrete to the abstract. So what does it look like? What does 22 times 11 look like? What do my geometric solids look like? We are spreading them out and giving them that opportunity. We're going, again, transitioning from the primary to lower elementary. So here we have our Tower of Jewels in primary, lower elementary, and familiar thing, this is our Pink Tower. So now we're taking from just an impressionistic lesson to looking at it and saying, well, what is each one of these? So we have the square or the cube of each of these to be able to see and demonstrate and see how these all go together. Our communities as well, we have the opportunity to work within the classroom, but also we expand out at this age as well. So we look at going on field trips. So there are times that we have field trips come to us and have projects that are done here within the community. Things like a multicultural fair, an opportunity for students to work not only within the classroom, but with students at different levels as well. And of course, a presentation for the entire school community. We have opportunities for drama and art, and it just, the creativity, just an opportunity to flow and see all different aspects. At this point in time, I invite you to let us know if you have any additional questions about our environment, and enjoy the next step. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Maria. We are going to head over to our upper elementary classroom where we're going to meet Ms. Ann. She will tell us about the next level, which are 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And we manage the same things. We work with time management skills, but in a larger level, meaning a weekly planner instead of a daily planner. So let's head on this way. As you can see, we have outdoor extensions to every classroom, like Ms. Janet mentioned in primary. We also have them in lower, upper elementary, and middle school. We're going to continue our way, and we can see Ms. Ann here, and we have our pet Ms. Luna also here, our little bunny. And Ms. Ann is going to give us a brief overview of the upper elementary curriculum. Thank you, Ms. Ann.
Hello, thank you, and welcome to our upper elementary level. As you noticed, all the other levels are also comprised of mixed age groups. At upper elementary level, this mixed age group consists of 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in the age range of 9 through 12 years. Our curriculum involves math, language arts, cultural studies such as history, geography, as well as science. And then we also offer technology and library sciences. In addition, our students have the opportunity to be enriched by our specials, such as Spanish, PE, music, and art. Our environment, as you noticed, is moving from the concrete to the abstract, just like the students. from more simple to more complex subjects, and each lesson builds upon the other. Students are allowed to walk freely within our classroom. There's respect for our environment, which involves, at this level, jobs that also respect our environment. Students will have different jobs within our classroom, such as pet care, taking care of our pet rabbit, Luna, as well as sweeping, dusting, using our washing machine to wash their placemats and napkins, dishes. We also have a dishwasher. That is our respect for the environment. In addition to that, we do respect each student and their different learning abilities and learning levels.
Can you tell us a little bit about the layout of the classroom on a typical year? I noticed that the desks are a little separated, and that's not common for a Montessori environment. Can you explain to us a little bit about why the layout looks like this today?
Because of COVID, our layout is a little different. We have to take into consideration our 6 feet distancing. Our students also wear masks during the day to make sure that we keep them safe in this environment. On a normal level, when there was no COVID around, students are grouped by 4th, 5th, and 6th to make sure that they learn from each other, so that they have a rich peer engagement as well and collaboration. We teach them at this level to not only be responsible and have respect for each other, but also good organization skills, time management, as well as to be responsible. And those are skill levels that they will carry on to middle school and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ann. We are going to continue our way out through one of our outdoor extensions, again in the form of a balcony because we are on the 2nd floor. So we come out this way and we can see our beautiful balconies where students can do some work on their own or with a peer. Now it could be a 6th grader working with a 4th grader. Oh, I can take off my mask now, we're outside. And also, if you see down here, you're going to be able to view our beautiful garden that is tended by the students. We also have a lot of opportunities for parents to engage and become part of the community. We're a big family here at MSSA, and we really promote that. So parents can work with our wonderful PTC and volunteer for all these activities. We have gardening for students once a week on a typical year. We have Cooking 101 in upper elementary where students can come and prepare a recipe with 1 or 2 parents as they sign up on our website. And it could be any recipe, any diet restriction recipe, and so we can all try vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, any recipe that is available to us so we can try all different kinds of foods. We're going to head downstairs and head out to our 2nd building, which was built in 2006. We had to add it to, because our middle school group grew a little bit too large to maintain in this building. So we added that building and a gym as well. Now our gardens are on both sides of our building. This is one side where some of our primary classrooms tend to this garden and upper elementary and lower. And on the other side of the building, we have a 2nd section. Our campus is 24 acres. We have soccer fields, basketball courts, 9 square, 4 square, playgrounds for the primary levels, the 3 to 6-year-olds. We have playgrounds for 1st through 8th grade, and outdoor classrooms were added this year. Some good things came out of having to adjust. If we walk over here, this is our courtyard. We have our middle school over here. We're going to head in there and meet Miss Julie and Mr. Josh. Josh is our history teacher and Miss Julie is our science teacher. They are going to talk about the middle school curriculum, which is a hybrid of a Montessori environment with traditional learning. We have compartmentalized our 4 subjects: math, English, science, and history. Come with me and you can enjoy the view of all our playgrounds and open spaces. Again, we also have a nature trail behind those playgrounds that leads up to is our middle school building. Hi, Miss Julie.
Welcome to the middle school. I am Julie Hartoms. I am responsible for the science curriculum here at the middle school. So in science, 7th grade is primarily life science. So the kids learn all science from the cellular biology level all the way up through organisms, the environment. We also look at things that impact the ecosystems. So in 8th grade, that's more of a physical science, more of a conceptual approach. So the kids have physics, and they learn conceptual physics as well as chemistry. And then math, Chris Noel leads a fantastic program of introductory, so the kids coming in from entering 7th grade will have an introductory pre-algebra course, and then in 8th grade, students will have Algebra 1 with some statistics, probability, and also data analysis. So that is the math and science for the middle school students. And Josh is going to talk to us about the curriculum, what it looks like in a day for the child.
Thank you, Ms. Julie. So hi, I'm Josh Dillon. I've been an educator for 16 years, 3 of which in this wonderful school. As Ms. Julie indicated, I lead the history program here, and I like to talk about some of the humanities our school has to offer, and then an overview of the day. So over here in Ms. Shauna's English class, she focuses on 4 big things that are crucial for success later on in high school, which is reading, writing, thinking, and creating. Students in English will read wonderful works of literature that are both classic and innovative. They will write their own literary analysis as they engage in conversations and seminars to deepen understanding as a collective learning community. And also students will move on to think and create their own versions of those to more deeply understand them, such as create their own films that will both mimic or satirize an earlier work. So in English, they get those really deep grammar and vocabulary skills, and then in history, I teach both 7th grade world history, which is a survey course, which goes over the scope of world history, where students will learn some basic note-taking skills. They will learn test-taking strategies, and they will learn how to deeply analyze primary sources, to debate, and to really understand how to be successful in a later classroom, such as advanced placement 1 in high school if they so choose. In 8th grade history, we focus a deep dive on U.S. history, American history. And that's where we look at more of the advanced placement techniques of seminars. We will look at role-playing, debates, to better understand all aspects of history. My students like to think of themselves sometimes as social scientists, right? Where they go in, they examine the facts like a detective, and then they will come to their own decision on kind of the grander arcs of history and what's really happening in controversial issues or in general trends they study. Another thing offered in the humanities program here is Montessori Model United Nations, which is where students get to role play as ambassadors from around the world and then create their own solutions to those global issues together. Normally, the program also allows us to travel to wonderful places such as New York to be in the actual United Nations to have these deliberations. Very unique and wonderful opportunity. Well, that's an overview of the 4 main core classes within the middle school. But I want to take a step back for just a moment and give you 2 illustrative things about how student-centered middle school really is. First, when students walk in, from the moment they walk in the morning, they engage in a student-led morning meeting. And in that morning meeting, students get to discuss their own goals for the day. They get to reflect upon what happened in previous learning the other day. They can They even set goals for their own jobs that they create throughout the learning community that they hold themselves accountable to. In doing so, they really are fulfilling the goal of learning true responsibility for themselves and the community. A second way students really take command of their own learning here in middle school is something called the Passion Project, which is interdisciplinary in nature. It involves English, math, science, and history. Students will identify a core area of their life that they are just passionate about, that they might see themselves in terms of having a future job, for instance. And then they will research the history of that topic, talk to local experts in that topic, research not only the history, but they will look at literature involving the topic, and then explore the math and science applications of that topic. Ultimately, this interdisciplinary learning journey will culminate in a 20-minute oral presentation that students do to showcase their learning at the end of the year. It's a huge celebration. It definitely encapsulates our school's mission here to engage students to be lifelong learners and engage citizens for their whole life. In closing, I'd like to say that the middle school sees itself as a bridge, so that no matter where your child or you want to go for your learning journey after Montessori, they have the core aspects of the Montessori program from Upper Lower Elementary, but it's also blended with traditional aspects that can be successful in any high school environment that they choose to go to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Josh. That was wonderful. Thank you. Very informative. Okay, and we're going to head out of the middle school building now to meet Dr. Dan, which is going to introduce us to our specialists. Yeah, we head back to our courtyard where students again can sit here and work. Sometimes they do have their morning meetings either in our outdoor classrooms or here in this area. Here's Dr. Dan to introduce our specialist.
Hi, welcome back. It's great to see you again. As you notice, we are kind of in the breezeway between the middle school and the lower school and the primary. What's going to happen next is you're going to get to meet what we call our specials, and that would be art, music, PE, Spanish, and library. In addition to our full academic curriculum, students during the week have access to a full variety of activities. In addition to that, which you will hear about later as well, is our before and our after school programs. So thank you for sticking it out with us. I know we've had a few little technical difficulties, but I'm sure that it's been worth the wait. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Ms. Maru, and you'll get to meet some of our other really fabulous educators here at the Montessori School of San Antonio.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. Okay, as we continue our way, we're going to head back to our main building to meet Ms. Becca. Good morning, Ms. Becca.
Good morning.
We are here to learn all about the music curriculum for the Montessori School.
Good morning. So great to see you. Welcome to my room. We actually have 2 music rooms here at the Montessori School of San Antonio. I'm Rebecca Morgan, one of the teachers on campus. We are focused on the Kodai philosophy of music education here at Montessori School. We are rooted in that. We have been using that philosophy for many, many, many years, which believes that music starts with the understanding of the ears. So we really are rooted in creating, performing, and understanding music through the ears, through listening to each other and through listening to music to discover new things. We work with the primary, the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, all the way through middle school. So we have the 3 and 4-year-olds come in, and it's a lens of play. We do finger plays, we do movement, we do understanding of music, but all through play. We read books, and we have lots of fun. Our room right now looks like we're set up. This is not my typical thing, but this year, this is what it looks like. We have an individual place, so we are spaced in music. And we have instruments for each person, but at the primary level, that all gets cleared away, and we have lines for kids to sit on. So we make sure that we stay safe here, but have a lot of fun making music together. When we get to extended day or full day, that's our kindergarten level. We still have that lens of play and playing with music, but also we start to label things. We start to label the high and the low and loud and the soft, and label all of the instruments and how they're done, how they're played. And we also then start to really focus on beat and tracking the beat. Now we've been keeping the beat in primary of the 3 and 4-year-olds, but now is the time where we start to label things. Starts our sequence using the Kodai Today scope and sequence for our curriculum here, and that travels all the way through middle school. So our next level of LE and UE are very specific in our instruction as to really creating a way of understanding music that layers on top of each other, kind of like an onion, where we're just kind of peeling away layers at it. And so we instead of using our voice, usually we use our voice for understanding. That's our personal instrument. This year, we're using instruments to really help understand that philosophy. But in that curriculum, we always start with, what are we hearing? So we have a visual representation of what we're hearing, some new concept we're working on. Then we have oral questioning. I have specific questions to get at their understanding to see what they're learning. Then we do a visual representation. So we're building something. What could that look like? This is where Montessori kids really shine. They love to show their own understanding. Then we have where I label the sound. I'm using a new tool for them. And then finally, in the final moments, we show them what it looks like. So the eyes are the last thing. The ears are the first thing. So I really want them to build a love of learning through their ears of what they're hearing and making and building and doing together. Finally, so that's all the way through UE, or upper elementary. And then for middle school, we are performance-based, where we have choirs. So the middle school gets to have a choice between brass ensemble, percussion ensemble, or chamber singers. And then we have performances there. Usually we have choirs that are an elective, that if kids who love to sing can come together, and then we have a handbell group or a tone chime group for them to play, and that's another elective. So we are very busy in the music curriculum. It's a valued piece of the school and what we do, and it is a joy of mine to always share my love of music with the love of learning.
Thank you, Ms. Becca. Thank you so much for this overview of the music program. Okay. So we're going to head upstairs to our Spanish classroom and meet Miss Annabelle. Okay, follow me. Back upstairs. And again, you can view the beautiful library. Again, as we head upstairs, you will see that chairs are separated and furniture is set apart, and the reason it is because of this particular year. On a typical year, again, we work in collaboration. As you can see, this would be a typical year. Children work together, learn from each other, and build community. Here we have our Spanish room, and Ms. Annabelle is going to tell us all about our Spanish program. Good morning, Ms. Annabelle. I'm going to step back. Thank you.
Bienvenidos, welcome to the Spanish classroom at the Montessori School of San Antonio. My name is Annabelle. I'm a Spanish teacher here at MCC. The Spanish program at the Montessori School of San Antonio runs from primary, including 5-year-olds, and all the way through 8th grade. Primary and elementary students come to the Spanish classroom once a week for a 30-minute long class every week. And the class is structured to be highly interactive. The seats are arranged so the students look at each other, they interact, and they collaborate. The program for kindergarten and lower elementary are is heavy on literacy. Students learn to read and write in as close as possible, in a way that is as close as possible to how children would learn to read and write in a Spanish-speaking country. Also, the reading curriculum and writing curriculum for Spanish at MSSA mirrors the Montessori method. It includes activities with a movable alphabet, and it includes the pink, blue, and green reading levels. Upper elementary students also come to Spanish class once a week for 30 minutes, and they begin taking topics that will prepare them for high school Spanish level 1. And the class is structured very interactive, and one of the central goals for the upper elementary class is that they read, write, and speak Spanish in every class. And then middle school students take Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 at the high school level. At the center of every level is a goal for students to be culturally literate. So we utilize holidays and prominent Hispanic people in every topic to instill in students cultural awareness of the multiculturalism in Spanish-speaking countries. The curriculum at MSSA is designed specifically for MSSA students. It follows Montessori principles, and it is academically rigorous. It is project-based, and it uses the skill of research, which is one of the cool words here at MSSA. They research different topics to learn the language, to understand the culture, and to grow as critical thinkers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Annabelle. Okay, we are going to do a little bit more investigación, a little bit more research as we head on over to Ms. Margot, our art teacher, one other special class that we have available for students here. Okay, we walk through our beautiful hallways here and lead to our classrooms. We're going to start adding information on the admissions process once we are done with our specialists, ending with our library. As we continue on back to the gym, okay? So right now we head over to our art room. Now if you can spot here some little desks, and this area is usually empty because we use it for events, special guests. And right now we're using it as a cohort for childcare, so we can keep our groups together, accommodating for social distancing. Okay. So here Ms. Margot has some art of the students displayed for us to see, and she is ready to tell us about the art program here at MSSA. Good morning, Ms. Margot.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great, thank you. Okay, so we can set it here. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Ms. Margot.
Yes. I'm Marguerite McCarthy. I've taught art for over 35 years at every level, including university, and I exhibit my own work as a professional artist. Students call me Mrs. Margot. I'd like to tell you about my department. The art department here at the Montessori School of San Antonio. First of all, our curriculum adheres to national core arts standards, which asks students to create, present, respond, and connect their art to the world around them. In addition, I align art assignments with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills standards, fine-tuning appropriate levels of mastery for each individual artist. But there's more to our art department. The environment here at MSSA lends itself perfectly to the very best practices in art education by encouraging self-discipline, independence, research skills, cooperative behavior, and a deep respect for original thinking. Our students experience a variety of techniques in media. They practice drawing, printmaking, painting, and sculpting using a wide range of materials. Students study the art elements and principles of design in order to create strong compositions. MSSA artists also participate in classroom critiques, strengthening visual literacy skills as they analyze and interpret work of the masters,
contemporary artists, their own artworks, and works of their peers. They gain empathetic awareness as well as aesthetic understanding through art production and discussion. Our students understand that art is an important record of human culture and has been since the beginning of time. Student art is regularly displayed in our beautiful lobby art gallery and in virtual student art exhibits. Our students have work on display at the McNay Museum of Art right now. They produced sculptures last year inspired by a piece in the McNay collection. I get to teach the perfect subject. Art helps each child develop as a caring, creative, responsible person. My students become problem solvers, so needed in the world. I feel grateful to be teaching my passion in this school.
Thank you, Ms. Margot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for this overview of your art program. It's a beautiful classroom full of light,
It is.
right?
I love it.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good
Ms.
day.
Margot. Okay, we are gonna head downstairs again and all the way to the gym. We're going to meet our coaches. We have 3 coaches on staff. This year, we have a few more to accommodate. But we're gonna meet Coach Lou, that's gonna talk about motor skills and PE. And then we're going to continue with our after-school program, which includes after-school care and athletics and summer camp. Hopefully this year will be available for everybody to join. Now, as we make our way through, I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the admissions process. So here's how it works. We take a tour, which we're doing right now. We take a tour of the school. The family comes in, walks around, and then usually here we have an observation in the classroom. The family sits in a classroom. Depending on the level, they need their child to attend. And then they decide if this is a good fit. We schedule an interview for the student. Now here, we're going to meet Miss Lisa, which is in the library. She's going to tell us about our library program. This is our second to last specialist. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Please share with us our beautiful library and how it works.
Good morning. Welcome to the MSSA Library. We have a collection of over 13,000 books in the library. The library is located right in the center of the school. I'm sure you've seen on the tour. And that enables the students to independently access the library, which we're staying, true to the Montessori, that component of independence and love of learning. On a typical day in the library, I'll give you 2 scenarios. A typical day in a normal year, and we'll talk a little bit about what we've done this year to have children stay in their cohorts. In a typical day, the students are able to access the library independently. You might have children in primary extended day working in the library, right on up through, you can have middle school students. So it's a very dynamic environment. It's quite a community. So this year, given COVID protocols, in order to keep students within their cohorts, we have the class come to the library as a whole. And they're here for over an hour, so they are able to have that uninterrupted work period, which is also very important in Montessori. And a typical day with that is the children are in here with their entire class. You might have small group lessons going on, students completing work that they previously had a lesson on. So it really models the classroom. It's an extension of the classroom. Students are checking books out independently. They do that on their own. They go to the circulation desk and access the computer and actually check their books out themselves. Even the primary extended day students do that. So, like I said, on a given day, you have lots going on. The lessons that we cover in the library are research. We do lots of different research activities. We help them just learn how to research and how to use our library. We do poetry lessons. The students twice a year write and illustrate and present their own poetry, and that is a school-wide event in a normal year. This year we've kept it to each class, but so students from first grade are already learning to present and become comfortable with that. You might have a second grader presenting to a UE student, so it's very community. It's a beautiful event. We do that twice a year. We have literature circle. We do multicultural fair. That's one big event that we kind of have at the end of the school year. Students spend a good month or so working on their country research, learning about the country. They put a trifold together, and then we have a large multicultural fair in a normal year. This year it will be scaled down to individual classes again to keep them in their cohorts. But the multicultural fair is another wonderful event. It's another way for them to be able to become comfortable with presenting, getting those presentation skills down. Let's see, poetry, lit circle, research. I think that pretty much covers it. It's an extension of the classroom.
Absolutely, an extension of the classroom, and Ms. Lisa works in community with all the teachers, and they complement their projects in the library with Ms. Lisa. Thank you so much, Ms. Lisa.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a bit. All right, the coaches are ready to talk about all that physical activity and fun that starts in primary. 3-year-old, 4-year-olds have motor skills. 5th through 8th grade have their PE lessons, and also we're going to talk about our competitive and non-competitive programs here at MSSA, all our sports. Now we're going to go back to our courtyard, but through our gym door. To my left here, you can see a parking lot, a gate and a parking lot. This is another parking lot that has access to our front entrance in our gym, where we have all our events that Ms. Lisa was mentioning. Also our music concerts as well. Our spring concert and our winter concerts are held there. Graduation for 8th grade are held there as well. And okay, I'm going to put on my mask, and then we're going to come into the gym. Thank you. Okay, we're here. Walk through our hallways. You can see some images of our students, our teams, volleyball, basketball, cross country, and soccer on this side of the wall. And here, ready to share all about PE and motor skills is Coach Lou. Good morning, Coach Lou.
Oh, well, hello there. Let me come over. Kind of messed that up a little bit. What's up, guys? Welcome to the gym. It's great to have you here. Follow me out this way. This is our gym, and it's a beautiful place to be. So I'm so thankful that you're here with us today. I am Coach Lou. I am one of 3 coaches that we have on staff here at the Montessori School. And like I said, we have this beautiful building. Come follow me this way. Follow, guys. and here at the Montessori School, we break up our classes into 2 different types of classes. The 4, 5, and 6-year-olds will be doing motor skills, whereas as they get older into 1st grade through 8th grade, they're getting into physical education. On this side of our court, we have our motor skills lab set up. So it's going to be the same things that our 4, 5, and 6-year-olds are doing. Now with motor skills, it's basically learning a skill. So we teach them a skill, we practice that skill, and then we get really good at it. When they get to PE and physical education, it's now taking that skill to the next level, adding it to games, adding it to having fun, right? So I want you to imagine your class growing up. What was it like? What did you do in PE? What did you do in phys ed, right? What was the fun times that you had, the smells that you were smelling, the great times that you had this is the perfect place for your kids to be enjoying it, right? Walk with me this way. You can kind of see our motor skills, this is our PE area. So we have everything from our parachute to our steps. We have basketball out, volleyball, we got the volleyball nets out, so it's a great place for kind of all age groups to be able to come, enjoy themselves. And you also notice we have an amazing set of windows all over the place. It's nice and bright in here. If you flip onto our other side right over here, we have our beautiful stage, which there's a projector that comes on down, so the students are able to watch movies, they're able to enjoy themselves, and it just works out really, really well. So let's just take a look around. We'll take a look around and we'll just kind of look at some of the equipment that we have out. Of course, like we said, the steps, the ladder. You saw me tripping on the ladder here a second ago. We have our parachute. Growing up, parachute is kind of one of the most fun things for kids to be doing. Parachute, we have our basketballs all laid out. The rims will go up high, they'll go up low, so it's a little bit for everything, for everyone. Come out this way. We got our volleyballs. So for our sports teams, we got a little bit of everything for them. Come out this way, guys. I got so exhausted on the way in. All right. With our motor skills classes, we like I said, we take a specific skill and then we work on that skill. So it could be jumping, it could be dodging, it could be leaping. We do a lot of balancing, so we'll put them on the line and we'll practice balancing. These are our balancing bikes right here as well, so they'll be able to use the balancing bikes. And then I believe what we're doing is we're walking out this way and we'll check out the concession stand. So thanks for joining me, guys.
Thank you, Coach Wu.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. It was lovely, lots of energy. Okay, we are heading over to that front entrance of our gym that I was talking about. We have restrooms on each side. This is where parents can park and come in for a special event, or any teams that are competing here at the Montessori school. If you come closer, we can see the concession stand. It's closed right now. We have not used it this year, but we are hoping that we are back to normal very soon. Our mascot is the jaguar. So we have here our trophy display and our board. Okay, so if we come through this way, we're going to go meet Coach O. She is going to tell us all about the after-school program, including after-school care and athletics. We come back out this way to our beautiful gym. Around. And as you can see, I don't know if you focus on the stage, but that's our beautiful stage where we hold our special presentations. We also have a talent show for UE. We have also plays for lower elementary, and UE is upper elementary, if we don't mention it. We're so used to saying UE, sometimes we get confused. So here is Coach O. Hi, Coach O. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you. My name is Leticia Obregon, and I am the Director of Athletics and After-School Programs here at the Montessori School of San Antonio. I'm excited to introduce our after-school program to you all. Our after-school sports, arts, and activities offers our students over 70 programs a semester, depending on their level. Programs are offered once a week. Classes last anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, again, depending on their level. Our goal is to offer quality extracurricular activities with family time in mind. So students are finished with their after-school program by 4:15, 3:15 on Wednesdays. So for example, they may have a private piano lesson or a soccer practice, and then they can go home. Parents don't have to venture out the evenings to take their kids to classes. So here is just an example of what we offer at each level. So right here, I'm showing you the primary half-day program. So as you can tell, we try to hit all children's interests. Again, since classes are offered once a week, students can participate in up to 5 programs a week. So if we're looking at primary half-day, we have everything from soccer club, Storytime Art, Let's Pretend, a Spanish immersion theater program, and we also offered private lessons. Looking at the primary full-day program, again, as they get older, offerings increase. So we have everything from soccer, volleyball, and basketball, golf, tennis. We have Kung Fu, Let's Pretend, Gymboree, and again, our private piano lessons are usually piano, violin, viola, cello, guitar, usually our most popular. If you notice, as we get into lower elementary, we add competitive sports along with our intramural style programs, which are in-house. So parents and children are not committed to attending games on the weekends or during the week. Same with upper elementary and middle school. In middle school, we add the ones that they've been doing from primary level. So if they started with us in soccer at age 3 and continue to the 8th grade level, they've been playing soccer together with their classmates for years. We offer ISEE prep math, speech and debate. We also offer computer science, programming and game design at the middle school level. Alongside our after-school program is our child care program. We provide our families access to before and after-school care. We start before school care at 7 a.m. Our after-school care begins at the end of the day and goes through 6 p.m. For primary half-day students that end at 11:45, their day includes not only lunch, but also nap, outdoor time, and indoor time. Our after-school staff strives to create a stimulating and fun environment for students. The daily schedule is balanced between indoor and outdoor activities. So now, the exciting part, my future Jaguars. You may have heard that in Montessori, we do not typically encourage competition between children. This, however, is intentional. Here at MSSA, we work hard to give children a foundation built on competition with oneself, as opposed to others. So the fact that Montessori students don't compete is definitely a misconception. Our competitive athletics program here at MSSA fosters teamwork, resiliency, character, self-regulation, independence, self-confidence, and even more important, a will to meet and exceed their own expectations. All important traits that carry with our students for a lifetime. We start offering competitive sports at the first year grade. However, students start touching the ball here at age 3 through child-centered in-house club sports. Currently, we field 22 competitive teams, and as you walk down the hallway, you were able to see some of those teams. First and second years compete in co-ed soccer and basketball. At 3rd grade, we add competitive volleyball, and now we go gender-specific sports as in basketball. So at 3rd and 4th grade, they have soccer, basketball, volleyball, at that level. 5th through 8th grades compete in volleyball, basketball, soccer, track and field, cross country, golf, tennis, and swimming. We compete in the Independent School Athletic League, which is made up of 20 schools in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. We are advocates for sport for life, play for all. All students who come out for the team make the team, and we encourage multi-sport participation. You have seen our beautiful gym. Now let's take a look at our locker rooms. Come on down. Go right through here. Come on in. We have a separate boys and girls locker room housed on each side of the stage. Our coaches are all CPR and first aid certified and have fundamentals of coaching certificate at the minimum. Dr. Montessori said, sports challenge us to acquire a new skill, and this feeling of enhancing our abilities is a real source of delight in the game. It's been a pleasure talking with you today. It is now my honor to introduce MSSA Executive Assistant and Coordinator of our Summer Camp Program.
Hello everyone! Hi, I'm Francesca Creamer. And at Camp MSSA, we offer a full-day summer camp program for children ages 4 to 14 years old. In our beautiful 24-acre campus, we provide a safe environment, fun and stimulating activities for all of our campers. We offer a variety of weekly themed sessions to include sports, drama, art, STEM, Montessori prep, and more. So we'd like to invite you to our summer camp and encourage you to check out our website mid-spring for our registration details. Come join the fun. We'll see you in the summer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Francesca. Now we're going with Miss Maru. We're going back to her.
Okay, as we head out of our gym after meeting our wonderful coaches and Ms. Francesca for summer camp, we are going to head out over here to the courtyard where I can explain to you a little bit more about the admissions process before we meet Daniela Zamora. She graduated, she's a graduate from MSSA that's going to share her experience throughout the whole curriculum. Okay, the admissions process, simple. Take a tour, then if you find that this would be a school where you would like your child to attend and stay and do their 3-year cycles, you submit an application through our website, and after that, we receive the application, we schedule an interview to interview your child. At the primary level, 3 to 6-year-olds, they're interviewed just looking for readiness and personality and see where the placement is going to be, what classroom would work better for them, what peer group would he or she be successful in. For lower elementary and upper elementary, there's a brief, in the interview process, there's a brief evaluation, just assessment of basic skills, math and language, and to see where the child is at, and if they're comfortable with the independent environment that we provide. Large classroom sizes and freedom of movement and choice, advancement at their own pace, and independence and time management skills. So, and middle school, the same, where they're at, where are they going to be placed, what class level they're going to start in. So after that, the admissions committee gets together, we define a yes or no, a good fit for the family as well. It's important that the family be on board with the Maria Montessori's method of promoting and fostering independence at home as well, giving the child responsibilities and so forth, and having them be very, very proud of their work. Anyway, so we're going to head back into our building, and we'll hope to provide more information about our school from an actual student. Thank you. I'm going to leave you with Daniela Zamora and back out a little bit. Thank you so much, Daniela.
Hi, my name is Daniela Zamora. I'm a high school senior at the Engineering Technology Academy at Roosevelt High School, and I also am an MSSA alumni. I attended MSSA for 11 years, so from ages 3 to 14, and yeah, I'm here to tell y'all a little bit about my experience. So I began at age 3 in Miss Libby's class, and my first day I remember walking in, being super shy, super scared, and my brother walked me to my first class because all my siblings and we went through MSSA. And I was super scared, super nervous. And Miss Libby, she just sat me next to her and I observed that first day. And that is what worked for me because it took me a little while to get used to it. And I think right off the bat you can see from day one, you are able to move at your own pace and what works best for you, which is awesome. Like, that's what worked for me. I needed that day. And yeah, and then moving into lower elementary, I have Miss Maria, and Miss Maria is amazing. So, like they talked about in lower elementary, you have your daily planners and increased responsibilities, but there were so many things about classes that made school so much fun. Like, we were so excited to come to school. We had special things like pumpkin patch poetry, which is when everybody's encouraged to present a poem, and we had multicultural fair, animal research day, so many different things that made school so exciting. We had the garden, we had garden parties in primary, and just things that made us excited to come to school and encouraged us to have pride in our work, and just so many things like that. And then going into upper elementary, I had Mr. Pettit, and we had our environmental trip. And okay, one more thing in lower elementary, we had our field day. I'm sorry, not our field day, our lock-in, which is a day of field trips, educational field trips. So we'll go out to museums, aquariums, learn in person, firsthand, learn about aquatics and plants and animals, and just amazing to be firsthand learning about things right then and there. And then we would come back to school, roll out our sleeping bags, break out our flashlights, and it was so much fun. And yeah, just so many different things that were so exciting. And then in upper elementary, we have our environmental trip, which is also an educational trip. And we, in my year, we went to Texas Tech Junction. And so we were able to go outdoors, stay in the cabins, the bunk rooms, get the whole overnight experience. And it was a lot of fun. We had parent chaperones, so a lot of fun parents joined us on these trips as well. And yeah, so from upper elementary, we also had the Cooking 101, and then throughout lower elementary and upper elementary, we have our after-school activities. So like me personally, I was involved in jump rope and volleyball, and jump rope was super fun. We would just go to the West Reading Room, we would make routines, jump rope to different songs, and it was a lot of fun, something definitely to look forward to at the end of the day. And then volleyball was also a lot of fun. When I was in upper elementary, we didn't have the gym at the time, so we would practice outside on the hard top. So that was definitely memorable in San Antonio heat. But yeah, it was a lot of fun throughout this whole time. So by the time I was in 6th grade, I had been at the school for 9 years already. So all of my classmates, we're practically family by now. Like these are like best friends that you grow up with. And even students, if they're new, so let's say it's my 6th grade year and they got there my 5th grade year, they're still treated the exact same. They're still family to us. Everybody's super kind and caring. The grace and courtesy is definitely instilled in us. And yeah, we love school here. It is so much fun. And so yeah, going into middle school we are introduced to our homework, but it's nothing crazy. We are definitely well prepared for it. We have been taught to utilize all of our skills like time management, having pride in our work, all of this. And so homework is a piece of cake. It's super easy. And then so in middle school, our homework load, it was definitely challenging, but we were prepared for it definitely. So then by the time we got to high school was like super easy, like nothing compared to, we were taught everything we needed to know. And so yeah, and so in middle school we also had Model UN, which is probably one of my favorite memories. In my class we had 16 8th graders, so me and like I said earlier, like best friends, brothers, sisters, like our family. We all went to New York and we did a Model United Nations. And so that was an amazing experience. It was snowy in Times Square and we were at this huge convention from people all over the world. And yeah, that was super educational, super fun. And yeah, those are some of my favorite parts of MSSA.
Can you tell us a bit about how you adapted to when you moved on to high school and so on, and what are you doing now?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so moving on to high school, so I chose to attend a magnet program at a public high school. So it was the ETA at Roosevelt. So it was the Engineering Technology Academy. And going into high school, it was definitely nerve-wracking being there for the first time, but I definitely felt well prepared. I was prepared to break out of my shell and step out of the box right away the summer before high school. So before going into my freshman year, I reached out to the school, got involved in volleyball. I was attending the strength camps and the conditioning and the freshman camps. And then I started my freshman year as captain of JV, which was super fun. And yeah, and then going into the classroom, I definitely felt well prepared. I was a year ahead in math, so I was taking junior level math as a freshman, which was super fun to tell people. And then Spanish as well. I was taking Spanish 2 as a freshman, compared to the majority of freshmen take Spanish 1. And so that was also a breeze, of course. I felt definitely well prepared. A lot of my friends, like I would know things, and they knew I went to a Montessori school because I would tell them, or they would ask like, how do you know that? And I would be like, oh, like, well, the school I went to, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I definitely felt confident in going to my classes. I was confident in asking questions. I never felt scared or anything like that. I asked tons of questions, definitely got involved, which that helped a lot, making friends and everything. And Yeah, and now I am captain of varsity. I've been on varsity the past 3 years. I am president of Relay for Life, which we raise money for the American Cancer Association. And then I'm a TSA officer, which is Technology Students Association. I'm in NHS. I am a National Hispanic Scholar as well. And I will be attending A&M next year to study engineering. So.
Wonderful. Are you working at now, currently?
Yes.
At the moment? Okay.
Yes, I have been working this summer after my sophomore year. I interned at my dad's engineering firm, that was a good experience. I felt like I wasn't working to my full ability because of course I didn't have my degree in engineering. So I would help around the office and everything, and then I changed my job. I started working at a smoothie place because I like to stay moving and I like to get going, so a fast-paced environment, so a restaurant, cafe is definitely for me. And then now I am a server at a restaurant, and that is a lot of fun. I like to stay active. I like engaging with people, which, as I told you all about my first day experience, that was not the case at the beginning. I was very shy, very timid, and yeah, now through all of the events, now I love going out and talking and love engaging with people. And so events like Pumpkin Patch Poetry, where it takes place here in the library, we present our poems to the school. And then Multicultural Fair in middle school, we do 20-minute presentations. So that's also you get used to presenting and talking to people. And slowly over time, it's no longer as scary. And yeah.
Well, thank you. I can see that you are not shy at all with the camera or anyone else and sharing your experience. Thank you so much. So right now we're going to move on to Q&A, and Ms. Daniela is going to stay here to answer some questions that are directed for her and Dr. Dan and myself. I'm going to go sit over here, and Ms. Jocelyn Duran, our Director of Communications, is going to give us the questions that you have submitted so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Maru. So these questions are submitted from our families who are joining us on Zoom. The first one is an admissions question, so it's to you, Maru. Is there availability for both my children, and will the new school year be virtual learning or in person?
Well, our plan is to be in person. Obviously, we have the space for it, and we're hoping for an in-person program. As the year we get closer to the start of the new school year, we'll determine what is going to happen. Also, for availability for 2 students, well, we are going to start our re-enrollment very soon, in about a week, and we will determine our numbers then. And if there is, for some reason, no space available, we are happy to put you on a wait list, and first come, first serve. As soon as we complete our re-enrollment, we evaluate enrollment for siblings as well for our current families, and then we continue with open enrollment. But you can always call, take a tour, and do an interview once the application is through. And once you're in the system, we have you on that list, and that's the way it works. Hopefully you will come in and apply. Thank you.
All right, our next question. What opportunities do families have to learn about the school throughout the year? And I think Dr. Dan is going to take this one.
Hi, so welcome back. There are lots of opportunities for families to learn more about the school, both current families as well as prospective. So I'm going to talk about 3. The first one is what's next. So this year, that was actually a virtual event where students and families in current grades can spend some time with the next level's teachers, ask questions about the curriculum, and find out essentially what's next. Another way to learn about our curriculum is what we call the Montessori journey. So every year it takes a deep dive into one of the subject areas. This year we explored math, and so you could see very detailed information of our math program, all the way from our youngest students at 3-year-olds in our primary, all the way to our 8th grade students. In addition to that, obviously we have the open house, but really the best way to find out more information about the school is to reach out to us. Ms. Maru Galarza is available to answer any of your questions, and she can certainly direct you to any of the other admissions people or academics or administration to talk you through any of your specific questions. Thank you.
All right, the next question is for our student, Daniela. What amount of the day is spent outdoors and what outdoor activities are available?
Okay, so for our outdoor activities, for the most part, at any time during the day, if you are wanting to go sit outside, we have the opportunity to. We have picnic tables right outside the classroom, right outside the windows, so still in view, in supervision of our teachers, and all it takes is, Miss Maria, can I go outside and do my work? And then either yes you may, or if she has a reason, of course, then no, I think it would be best if you stayed inside to do your work. And then we also have our garden outdoors, which is for primary through upper elementary. We have access to the garden. In primary, that is a big part. And then also in primary, we have lots of outdoor activities like the sensory activities like wiping tables, washing the windows, which was at the time super fun, and yeah, like little things like that outdoors. And then we also have recess outside, and I believe we have an outdoor classroom as well, out by the middle school. And then of course our after school activities, so volleyball, basketball, PE, any chance PE gets basically will be outside. So yeah, we do lots of games outside, and yeah.
Thank you, Daniela. So the next question is for admissions again. What is the average class size, and can 3-year-olds be admitted for the fall of 2021?
So admission starts at 3 years old for our primary program, half day from 8:15 to 11:45. We do offer care before and after school all the way to 6 o'clock. Typical classroom sizes are 24 and 2 adults, meaning a new teacher and an assistant teacher. These classroom sizes, we have 5 primary classrooms at the primary level. We have 4 lower elementary classrooms, again 24 and 2, and 3 upper elementary classrooms, again 24 and 2. Our middle school holds 12 students per classroom, and we have 4 classrooms. I guess, does that answer your question?
Definitely, thank you. Now we had this question submitted in our comment section, which families feel free to do. Are all specials in the afternoon to protect the 3-hour work period, or do they also occur in the morning?
We have different schedules for classrooms, especially this year. We had to accommodate for social distancing and keeping with the cohorts, but usually the specials are scheduled after a 3-hour uninterrupted work period, either in the morning or in the afternoon. It depends on the level and on the schedule for each class.
Thank you, Maria. Daniela, tell us about your experience with art on the campus.
Okay, so we have our art program here, and it is part of our specials. So periodically we are able to go into the art classroom, and in that classroom is basically anything you need for art. They have paint, clay, any type of paper, colored pencils of course. And yeah, and so we're able to touch on lots of different types of art. Like I said, we have clay, so we have ceramics, we're able to do sculptures, and we learn about different types of art. So we'll do watercolor, we'll do different collages with paper. We use lots of different types of materials, and we learn about different mediums to use. And then also, something that I thought was really cool, my 7th grade year, we learned how to make, or it wasn't making like molding glass. So the art teacher, we did it outside. It was, obviously we were very careful, 1 or 2 students at a time, and they had the torch out there, and we were learning how to make glass beads and little designs. And we were making beads like for jewelry or for whatever you like. And yeah, we touch on a lot of different art materials. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. And this was submitted also recently. Parents want to know, how do student interviews look during COVID, and especially for families who might be out of state?
So our interviews are after our tour and application process. Once the application is submitted, we schedule it. Now, for this year, all tours are scheduled after dismissal. But on a regular year, tours ideally will be during the work period for parents to actually have an opportunity to see the classroom in action and see what their child is going to benefit from and how they are going to work, how open the environment is, how the desks are close together and work in collaboration and learn from each other, how the half day ends at 11:45 and the full day, the 5-year-olds get an opportunity to be with the lead teacher for the second work period to prepare for first grade. So the interview is usually as well during the day, not a dismissal. Right now, we are interviewing in person as well with masks and social distancing. I personally, or a primary teacher, will interview a younger child, and lower elementary teachers are available for that for second and third grade levels, and upper elementary teachers for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And our middle school teachers also conduct an interview for middle school to see to where the placement of the classes are going to be.
Yes, thank you so much. And this is also one that was just submitted, so feel free if it's Maru or Dr. Dan or even Danielle if she wants to jump in. What is the length of the day for the students, and are there any plans to offer classes for 0 to 3-year-olds?
I think the 0 to 3-year-olds you can take, but I'll take the day. So from our work day is 8:15 to 3:15. Students arrive at the front entrance. They come out of their cars and make their way all the way to their classrooms. Half-day students are 3 and 4-year-olds. They stop their work day at 11:45 and they are dismissed, or they can stay in aftercare in our aftercare classroom, which is also a classroom in a prepared environment as well, with shelves and material. The only difference is that they will no longer be with their lead teacher in the classroom, because that third of the group, which are the 5-year-olds, are having their work period with their teacher. Again, the rest of the students in the school, again, our hours are 8:15 to 3:15, but we do have before care or early arrival from 7 o'clock all the way to after school care to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Again, if we would have competitive sports or after school activities, they would pretty much end at 4:15, so that's another pickup time available and so on, depends on the year. Thank you. And Dr. Dan?
Sure. It's interesting. Periodically, we get questions really about infant care as well as opening a high school. And currently, we do not have facilities for infant care, and we currently do not have a high school. But those are always things that we're thinking about, and we're hoping that at some point that those will be programs we will offer.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. All right, our last question, I'm going to combine two. So we talked about transitioning from Montessori to public. What about students who are transitioning from public to Montessori? And then also a two-parter, what if your student is more academically advanced? Do they have to stay in their level? Can they work with other students who are older than them?
Well, first I want to answer the second question. The second part of the question is, if my child is academically advanced in a particular area or in all subjects. Yes, our classrooms are equipped with the material. The prepared environment that Maria Montessori thought about was for this particular reason. When children are advanced, and it's usually one area more than the other. Let's say a student has a passion for geography. Well, we have the materials starting at primary level that go beyond the 5-year-old age group. So they can start working with first grade level material. Although sometimes it's beneficial for them to stay in their 5-year-old peer group because of maturity, right? So they are with their peers, but they are learning at their own pace, at their own level. Our curriculums are individualized for the child. That's why we have the 24 and 2 adult ratio in the classroom. So yes, if your child is advanced academically, of course, they can advance even more. If a 4th grader is working at a 5th grade level or a 6th grade level, they can certainly work with that material and keep going. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, which is our lower elementary level, has materials that go beyond the 3rd grade. And as you saw on the tour, if you were here, we transitioned from one classroom to the other, and all the classrooms are open and connected. So teachers share materials, we're a family, we share the materials and we talk about it and we discuss the future academic advancement of the child. Again, individual curriculum for each child. The first part of the question.
So transitioning from a public school to Montessori.
Well, when a child comes in from a public school, they usually are used to a very traditional type of learning, meaning desks as they are a little bit now situated, and facing one wall with a board and all doing the same thing at the same time. So that is an eye-opening experience for some families and some students as well. When they see the difference, like, wait a minute, I can work on my math now, and while John works on his language, I can work at my own level. I have the attention of the teacher that will work with me to advance to that next level and master my skill. I have a peer that I can ask, an older peer that I can go to for any doubts or questions that I have, or I have a younger peer that I can teach, and that way master my own skills. So yes, there is a transition, but we embrace the transition. We like to work with the students and give them that opportunity to take advantage of their own work, take charge of their own work and development, academic development, as well as build those social skills and sense of community.
All right, we're going to do one more just because we get this one a lot. And
Absolutely.
Daniela mentioned,
we have time.
Yes, and she sort of touched on this, but I think a lot of people are curious about how homework looks in the Montessori. So Daniela, if you want to maybe expand on it, I know you were speaking to that a little earlier.
Yeah, so actually I remember in lower elementary and upper elementary, so we are not given homework, but a lot of us ask for homework. Like, I remember me and my friends asking, like, oh, Miss Maria, Mr. Pettit, can I take home some work so that way I can finish my planner? And just stuff like that. But we are not assigned homework until our middle school, which is when we are prepared, and it is challenging, we are challenged, but I'd say pretty much everyone's well prepared. And so we have history, English, science, and math. And all of those classes are really engaging, and so the homework's never something like, oh, I have to do my homework. Like, it's never really like that. All of it's really engaging. We'll do dissections and act out plays and do math projects, all types of things to make it engaging and fun and not stressful, really. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. So we will be sending out a survey, so if you have more questions, feel free to submit those in our feedback survey, but for now, those are all the questions that we had.
Okay, so we have about maybe 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, before it comes to be 12 o'clock. And I would like to just do one more thing before we leave, if that's possible, to walk you guys outside and actually get to see Ms. Jocelyn and wave. If we can focus on Ms. Jocelyn Duran and say hi, and then if we can walk outside. Thank you, Ms. Jocelyn,
yes,
for all your questions.
Yes, and as I mentioned, we'll be sending a survey for your feedback, so feel free to ask any more questions that you have. I know a few of you may have emails from me already with some of your answers, so be looking for those and feel free to reach out to us. Our communications email is just communications@montessorisa.org, so that you can use for any inquiries that you have.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. So with that, I am going to walk outside with our camera crew and show a little bit of the front entrance because it's beautiful and we should, right? Thank you, Dr. Dan. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Jocelyn, and everybody that participated today. We're just going to head out and say our last goodbyes outside. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Okay, let's take a walk. I think you would enjoy the sight of the front entrance if you have not been here, if you have not visited the school. We were only able to see the front door, but now we're going to see the front and the benches outside. So if you can see our beautiful campus, we have gates on either side of our main building that lead to our primary classrooms. When students come into the front They drive up, they exit their cars and walk in, and they know to go left or right. And those gates are closed during the day for security. They have a code. Parents are given a code to come in and pick up their child. This year, we walk the child to the car, obviously. So if you come down here with me, we have all these benches out here. Now these benches are used as well for students now, so they can eat their lunch outside as well. Enjoy the day, keep a distance, and still be able to remove their masks while they eat. So usually these benches are put together as groups and to collaborate, but right now we situate them like this for dismissal purposes. So when you walk in our beautiful driveway and then go all the way around past the gym, our second building, and all the way to the front. Now this building has been around for a long time. I visited in 2000 and I was amazed by the structure, the library, the light, and the natural looking colors all over, and I am in love with it. I love working here, I love the community, and I love the families. And I want to thank you again for coming. We could go over more of the history of the school and how it started, but I can tell you it was established in 1974 and we're still going strong. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you get in touch and we'll give you another tour or start the application process, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Thank you for joining us.